Hello, my name is Harony, and I would like to share two testimonies with you. First, I'd like to kind of give you a little bit of a background so you have an idea where I'm going. I was brought up in the Christian faith, in the Seventh-day Adventist faith, but at the age of 15, I wanted to experience other things. I didn't have the same passion I grew up with. So I went into the world to experience. And by the age of 20 or maybe 21, I went to a week-long class at a school. I'm from Queens, New York. So I went to a place in Long Island for a week. And my older brother was the one that took me there. And he was the one that was going to pick me up when I was done with this week-long course. So my first testimony starts this way. When my brother went to pick me up, this was back in 1990, probably 95, I want to say, when seatbelt laws were starting to get enforced, but it still wasn't, it was a law because you could get ticketed. So my brother asked me to put on my seatbelt, and I said, oh, please, seatbelt. And he said, put on your seatbelt because I got a ticket here in Long Island for not wearing the seatbelt. Well, against my will, and because he yelled at me, I put on my seatbelt. So on our way home, when we took the highway, it started raining. One of these sporadic rains that just rains that you clean your windshield with your wipes and you can't see. It rains very, very hard. And we were on the highway and we were going very, very fast. Despite the fact that it was raining very hard, everybody was going at 60 or more. And we were on the left lane. This would be the fast lane. So in front of us, we were able to see a car that was stopped because it had just hit somebody. And this is at 60 miles per hour. So my brother stepped on the brakes, but obviously with pouring rain and at 60, it's impossible to stop. Because when we were able to see it, we were just too close. So we slammed into car number 2. And behind us, there was a full-size minivan that slammed into us, causing us to boom, 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 until we stopped. My brother hit his chest with the steering wheel, because even though by the grace of God, the seatbelt does a very good job because he hold him back. He hit that. That seatbelt saved my life. Around the same time this happened, when I called my mother because my brother went in the ambulance because he had chest pains, to tell her what happened, she asked me around what time was this? And I told her it was probably around 1 o'clock or something like that. And she said, praise the Lord. Around that same time, she had this huge urge to pray. Like something asked her, Luz Maria, pray. She didn't know why she was praying. Every time she feels like that, she prays for her children. And at that exact time, we crashed. Not a single life was lost. It was a 4-car accident. The first car, the airbag deployed, so he lost conscience for a little bit. The van that hit us happened to be an off-duty cop and was very involved in helping. But God prepared my brother by allowing that police officer to give him a ticket, because if it wasn't for that ticket, maybe he would not have asked me to put up the seatbelt, and I wouldn't be here sharing my testimony with you. So even though I went straight into the world, God has always been there, keeping a watchful eye and protecting us. So as I got older and as I got married and I had my kids, this one is a little more recent. It was slightly over 2 years ago, I want to say, maybe a little more, not much more than that. My kids always ask me, I have 2 boys. One is now 16 and my little one is now 10. But they always ask me about Jesus. unlike me, they didn't have the privilege of growing up in a Christian home because, as I said, I haven't been walking in God's ways for more than 15 years. So I always said a little here, a little there. Hard to explain, really. But that made me realize my kids did not have the experience I was able to have growing up, getting to know the Lord and loving the Lord. So I've had dreams here and there of the end of the world. And it's disturbing and it makes you uncomfortable. But this time as a mom, it's not just me. I have a family that needs to know Jesus. And it's my responsibility and my job to introduce them to the Lord. So about 2 years ago, I've had dreams of the end of the world about 3 times. But about a little over 2 years ago, I had a dream. I remember clearly. This was on a Wednesday. I dreamt that I was asleep, laying on the floor after some kind of event. And I woke up in my dream. It was dawn. It was probably 4 in the morning. It was still dark, but I had the feeling that morning was coming, but it was still dark. But you can clearly see the sky. So I looked up in the sky, and above the clouds, in my dream, there were angels dressed in red, flying above the clouds. And the angels had swords, and they were flying like this. The first angel that was in the formation had a trumpet, and the following ones had sword. So in my dream, I was terrified. I panicked. They're dressed in red. To me, that meant war. So as this happened, and I was laying on the floor, an angel appeared right in front of me. And because I was laying on the floor, this angel kneeled down to get to my level, because as I said, I was on the floor. And this angel looked straight at me, and a tear of pain rolled down the angel's cheek. And he told me, "What are you waiting for? He's just waiting for you." That was on a Wednesday. That Sabbath, I was here, seeking the Lord. And here I am, one day at a time. Thank you.